Good morning and welcome to Godstone Road. Since we last had a video, there have been some changes. I've done some work on the back scene. I've done a lot of work on the wiring, which you can see underneath. I've done some work on my DCC system. So, just to go in order of what's been achieved, I've now stuck the back scenes on. You can see here, before they were just taped up, but now they're actually stuck. I changed the back scene. I actually have spare back scenes now. If I just pan over here, there's another 10 foot of back scene over there, because I wanted to have that town in the back corner behind the parcels van to be in that back corner, which meant that I needed to have an extra extension onto the left hand side. So you can see the join is just about here. Now you can see there's a little change in tone, which I'm a bit disappointed with, but a tree will cover that up. So that's that, and they're stuck in, and that was amazing. These are ID back scenes, and I think you'll agree, that join notwithstanding, they look really good, really inexpensive. I think if you get the ones which are just paper, it's £12 for 10 feet, and these were 16 because I got them with a vinyl backing. Yeah, really happy. And even with my unfortunate situation with the roof coming down, I can have a curve in them. I'm going to have some more lights to get rid of this shadow, but I can have a curve in them, and they just adhere really nicely, and they don't crease too much. So yeah, I can really recommend ID back scenes. So the other thing was the wiring. So I actually had no programming track. Now I've got a toggle which will toggle the whole layout to programming mode and then back to operational mode, and all that is, this is my base station. So you can see these green wires are my programming track connection, and so I've got them going up to here, and I've got my track feed coming up to here, and then the output from this goes to the tracks, so I can just toggle between the two. I think in reality I'm not going to have enough locomotives for it to matter, and this is probably, I've got 4, I think, 3. So there's no requirement for me to have a dedicated programming track. I think if I was going to be smart, I may still do it, I would create an isolating block here and have a triple throw switch, which would switch this one from main to programming and switch this one from main to off. So if it was in programming mode, you wouldn't be able to drive a locomotive across and short the programming track connection into the main connection, like an isolating section here. And this could become a programming track. I don't think I'm going to need to. Right now, works okay. What that's meant is I can program all of my locomotives, which is really nice. So they've all got the locomotive. I'm using the Rocco WLAN mouse, which is this guy. And unfortunately, it's out of batteries now. But it allows a library to scroll through. So I've got them as the 4 SEP, the 2 EBP, and the 37. They appear there, and I can scroll through my stock that way to control them, which is really nice. I actually ordered a sound chip for that 37. I haven't had any sound for a very long time. One of my first layouts was a sound equipped layout, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'll do some more about that later. And yes, the primary thing that I'm going to be working on is what you can see here. This is a paper template for the platform at Godstone Road. It's large. It seems like it's too large, but I know it's not. This is, yeah, what we're going to be working on next. I need to figure out the best way to get the right platform height. The platform should be 12 millimeters above the rail height, and at the moment it's much higher than that. So yeah, I'm going to need to chop that down, as well as putting some combination of layers of things in there to make that the right height. So you have to stay tuned on that one, because I'm not really sure how I'm going to deal with it. But that is the next thing. And while I'm figuring that out, I've also got the pieces to lay the third rail. This is a multiple unit, British Rail multiple unit. You can see down here, this little brown guy. This is a beam with a shoe underneath, and electricity is collected from a shoe underneath this beam, and that's how the locomotives move. So the multiple units and some of the locomotives in the region. What it means is I'm going to have to drill out little holes in each one of these sleepers, like every 4 I think, and lay a rail here. And it's interesting the way that it's lined out. You know, you have rules and regulations, like if it's going to be next to it should be the opposite side to a platform, wherever possible. But if there's going to be people shunting and moving around, then you need to have them in boxes. If you're approaching a curve, you need to have it in such a way that the shoe will ride really smoothly. So it's been an interesting way to arrange that. I'm actually only going to have the third rail on these 2 tracks, these 2 being reserved for carriage siding, as a carriage siding and run around loop for locomotive hauled trains, and a goods yard, or ex-goods yard. So there's no need for that. So that's going to be another thing I'm going to do. And I've got some paint and ballast, so depending on how much I get done over the next few days, hopefully you'll see the platform a little bit more finished than it is now, the third rail laid on the tracks that need it, and maybe even the start of painting and ballasting the track. So yeah, please stay tuned and I'll give you an update as soon as I can.